I've always been lonely, not the kind of lonely where you just don't have plans for the weekend. I'm talking about that quiet, heavy loneliness that follows you around everywhere, in school, at home, in public, the kind that makes you feel invisible, even when people are all around you. I can't remember the last time I got a text just to talk, not because someone needed something, just because they wanted to hear from me. My phone barely lights up anymore, and honestly, I've stopped expecting it to. I used to think something was wrong with me, that maybe I was too awkward, too boring, too quiet, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized I've always been this way. I was the kid who sat at the edge of the lunch table, who blended in with the noise but never really belonged to it. I remember watching groups of friends laughing, sharing snacks, planning after-school hangouts, and thinking, how do they make it look so easy? Because for me, every conversation felt like an audition. Every word I said was rehearsed, every laugh felt forced. I wanted to be liked so badly that I forgot how to just be, and the truth is, I think people could sense that. They could tell I wasn't comfortable with myself, and when you don't love who you are, people pick up on it, so they kept their distance, and I blamed myself. I'd go home and replay every moment. Why did I say that? Why did I sound so weird? Why can't I just act normal? That kind of thinking eats at you. It makes you feel smaller every single day, and slowly you start pulling away. You stop trying, you stop talking, until one day you realize you've built an entire life around your loneliness. You convince yourself you're fine, that you like being alone. You scroll through social media, watch people post stories with their friends, and tell yourself you don't care, but you do. You care so much that it hurts. You start wondering if maybe people are just built differently, some made for connection and others made to sit quietly in the background. But then something strange happens. One day you catch someone smiling at you in class, or you share a laugh at work, and for just a second it feels like the world remembers you exist. That small moment, the tiny spark, makes you realize how much you've been craving it, because we all want to be seen. I remember being 15, sitting in my room at night, watching the light from my phone fade away after hours of silence. I told myself that no one cared, but deep down, I just wanted one message, one person to ask, "Are you okay?" I used to hug my pillow and pretend it was someone who actually cared. It sounds sad when you say it out loud, but when you've gone years feeling unseen, you start to make up your own comfort. That kind of loneliness changes you. It makes you overthink every friendship you've ever had. It makes you scared to reach out because you don't want to be a burden. It makes you wonder if you're even worth knowing. But what I didn't realize back then is that connection isn't about being the funniest or the most interesting or the loudest. It's about being honest. People don't bond over perfection. They bond over pain, over shared silence, over the feeling of you too. When I started opening up, really opening up, people began to respond differently. When I told someone I felt lonely instead of laughing, they said me too. And that's when it clicked. I wasn't the only one feeling this way. Everyone's lonely. Some people are just better at hiding it. The truth is, loneliness doesn't mean no one loves you. It just means you haven't found the right people yet. The ones who understand that silence doesn't always mean you're mad, that you don't always have to talk to feel connected. The ones who stay when you disappear for a while, who notice your absence without blaming you for it. I started finding people like that when I was around 18 or 19. It wasn't overnight. It took small steps. Saying yes to an invite I'd normally decline, asking someone how their day was and actually listening to the answer. I had to force myself into discomfort, but slowly I realized something. People weren't avoiding me. I was avoiding them. I was so scared of rejection that I rejected everyone first. And when I stopped doing that, and when I started showing up as myself, awkward pauses and all, people started to stay. It made me understand something powerful. Being alone doesn't mean you're unlovable, it means you're preparing, because when you finally do meet real people, the ones who actually listen, the ones who see you, you'll value them more than anything. You'll know what it's like to miss connection, and that's what makes you treat it right when you finally have it. Sometimes I still feel that loneliness. I think everyone does, but I don't fear it anymore because now I know it's not permanent. It's just a reminder that I care.